Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Derek here. We are back reacting to another episode of The Expanse. This is season 5, episode 2. It is called The Churn. Okay, so what happened last time on The Expanse? Last time was kind of like a catch-up episode where we learned just kind of like the state that everyone's in, and it's like a very minor time jump from the end of season 4, where they're no longer on Illis. They're all back doing their own thing. Amos is heading to Baltimore to deal with the affairs of someone who died, who took care of him. I believe they mentioned who it was in the episode last time, but for those of you that care about spoilers, I won't say. I do have a habit, especially since I've read all the books, I tend to reveal a little bit too much. I'll try not to do that as much, but, you know, bear with me on that. So Amos is heading to Baltimore. Naomi is leaving to try and connect with her son Philip, who is currently in the middle of this like terroristic campaign of the belt against everybody else, and he's mixed in with his father, and they're doing some not great things. But that's where she's at. Holden is on Tycho Station, or arguing with Fred Johnson about like how to handle a protomolecule, things like that. Alex is on Mars trying to, or at least he was trying to like reconnect with his ex-wife and son a little bit. That's not working out. And Bobby is also there, working for Avasarala. They're trying to like snuff out some like corruption within the Martian and UN governments. And I think that's all the main people. I don't know what Drummer's doing right now, but she's somewhere. If I remember correctly, there's a pretty decent gap in Drummer's storyline from essentially like books like 3 through like 7. I might be wrong, but there's a decent chunk of time where Drummer's just not in the story, which is a bummer in the books, but like in the show they won't, you know, the actress that plays Drummer is far too good to not have her around. So hopefully she makes an appearance soon. What else? In terms of the actual like bigger storyline, so at the end of last season, Marco launched his rocks at Earth, and they're just they're doing their thing right now. They took out some like first warning tech that would be able to warn Earth if rocks were coming. I don't know when the rocks will hit. Probably at the end of episode 3, if I had to guess. But they will probably hit. Can't say where or when or what's going to happen. But it might, things might not be great for whoever's near that if it does hit. Amos had a great time on a public space bus. And yeah, I feel like there's not a whole lot to talk about. It truly was kind of like a catch-up episode where a lot of the stuff talked about was things we already kind of know. But yeah, I'm excited for episode 2. So the way these were aired is the first 3 episodes aired, or not aired, they were put on Amazon Prime Video. The first 3 dropped right away on that Wednesday, and then this coming Wednesday, so probably tomorrow, if you're watching this the day it comes out, probably tomorrow, I think episode 4 comes out. So my plan is to you know, since I'll only be watching this show and the Queen's Gambit for the next week, probably, I'm going to try and put a few of these Expanse episodes out at a quicker pace, so that probably when it gets to like episode 6 or something, we'll be on pace and at the correct time. So yeah, other than that, I think that's all I gotta say. Before we jump into it, please consider leaving a like on the video and please consider subscribing. That means so much to me. If you want to see the full-length reaction to this episode, head down to my Patreon. It is linked below in the description. But otherwise, let's jump into the episode. Here we go.
Who are you to tell us who we can kill?
I am Kamina Drama. You respect my claim, or you die and become a story I tell the next captain.
Maybe done. Or maybe we finish you.
No. You're not gonna kill Kamina Drummer.
They target Locas.
Signal demoting.
Yo, Drummer is absolutely such a badass. Well, it's very interesting. I like how they design
You got your gun.
even like the kitchen, like how they eat stuff. It's so cool.
Suleiman Al-Mari, we have retransmitted your distress call to the UN. Ines should be here to pick you up in a few days.
Fucking sleep at night. You people took everything from us.
Not everything.
Not your lives. It's like the scene from The Dark Knight Rises. Given everything. Not everything. Not yet.
Kamina, you have a bounty on this ship?
That's so cool.
What is that? Satinen. Claes Ashford's ship.
Ooh, she was looking for it. They didn't blow it up.
I thought I'd actually find it.
I would have figured they would have like destroyed that thing, not just you know, let it sit out there. Doesn't seem very smart on Marco's part to just leave it there, unless it's a trap. Baltimore, about to see Timothy do some work. There's a surprising amount of trees still there. Not gonna lie. There's a lot of trees there that I didn't expect to be there. Lots of solar panels though, so that makes sense. Dang, how'd they get this shot? That's a nice shot. Would they go from like a helicopter to a drone, or was it just a drone? They probably don't use many helicopters anymore. Oh.
Lydia was always waiting.
Yeah, Lydia is why he's here. It's why he didn't yell at the lady who was snoring last episode, is because reminded him of Lydia.
I'm Charles.
Hey, Charles.
Were you good to her, Charles?
He seems like he was.
We were good to each other, boy.
They loved each other.
She went to bed fine. And when I woke up, she wasn't there anymore.
That's rough.
How she died. What am I going to do? How the fuck am I going to go on without her?
Amos is not good at comforting people. It always sucks seeing old people cry, you know?
She's dead. When you got old enough, the Johns didn't want you. So they started you working muscle.
Yep.
But she
Float to the top or
The
sink to
churn.
bottom.
Everything in the middle is
Everything
just the
in middle's
churn.
the churn. She told me that. Thank you for being with her.
I'm gonna miss this place.
Can't afford it anymore?
Why are you leaving?
It's not mine. It was hers. Some kind of favor from her old life. She let me stay, but now that she's gone, the guy who owns it, He wants it back.
What was his name?
Oh,
Eric.
yep.
That's all I know.
I think he was one of Amos knows who he is, essentially. He's gonna intervene here.
Fuck you. I barely want the job I have now.
Okay, so this is Bull.
Be more careful with your money.
It's interesting.
If you weren't stone-ass,
I wonder what they're gonna do with him, because
Supposed to be grateful now, right?
he essentially in the books had Ashford's storyline, and Ashford was not a good dude in the books, and they kind of merged those two characters and pushed it forward as Ashford. But yeah, in the books, Bull was a security officer who he was a good dude during when they were initially going through the rings. Oh, no one's messaging him. Sad day, man. Except for her, she's got a message for him.
Avoiding me, but it proves that someone is going after the proto molecule.
He's like, dang it. Damn it. Yeah. He's like, frick, I have to go. He cares too much. The door is open. That's not good news. There's blood on the wall. I don't think she's dead. From what I remember, I don't think she's dead here.
Come in.
Dang, Bobby.
Howdy.
Getting jacked.
Why you shutting me out?
Of what?
I don't know. That's the problem. Happened to nothing. You're angry, and it's not because of something I did.
Well, it wasn't until now.
Come on, Bobby.
Wait.
Shit.
I've been buying for months.
No way someone walks off with one of these. That ain't possible.
Turns out it is. There have been a series of major force reductions, which means a whole lot of gear no one is using and a bunch of people who are about to lose their paychecks. Easy math.
Yep.
You gotta go to the police.
All this extra war stuff
The police
and
are
no
able
war to
to
fight.
clear the deliveries. I've got a possible lead on stealth missiles.
Those are first strike weapons.
Yep.
Anyone buying one of those wants to attack a planet.
Now you see why Avasarala is funding me.
And there's some interesting people behind it. That kid just took some money or something. Oh, he's looking for who's working for who, so that he can find Eric.
I don't know any Eric. I just need you to give him a message. Tell him Amos Burton wants to talk. And then why don't you go fuck yourself? Please stop hitting me.
Yeah, please stop.
I'm just doing your job. But I need a friend who will take a message to Eric from me. Do you want to be my friend? Yeah.
Yeah, say yes, and then as soon as you are even remotely away from him, you just bail.
Your people are a part of this. We don't know that yet. And I shut down the port.
I like his helmet decor in the background. It's like in the pilot episode with Julie Mao, just in a box somewhere.
This allows a much smaller force to hold all the rings simultaneously and thus asymmetrically exert power. I'm afraid we're out of time.
Yeah, and unless you can
This Churn
coordinate between all these different systems, there's no way each individual circle would know
plan and prepare.
like when to attack this small group, and therefore that small group could hold off really all of them.
You pilot a stolen Martian ship for an Earther captain. I don't think we have much to say to each other.
Ah, come on, man. Why does he recognize that lady? Is that him? Is that person not actually there? Or is it just remarkably similar? Some ice for your face. Sorry for beating you up. Yeah, yeah, that lady and the kid aren't there. I think that's something from his past that he's just remembering. He saw it twice now, and it looked the exact same.
We could come home. I can't.
Don't do
I'll
that.
miss you. I know he won't say it, but he does. He's back at Columbia now, getting ready for the semester. If you went to him, you could patch things up.
What I'm doing here is still important. I don't understand.
Also, he's the one that told her to go. If he wants to patch things up, he's got to do that himself. If Arjun wants to get back together with her, he can do it. He's the one that ended things. You know, he doesn't get to passively aggressively be like, oh, I wish she would leave there and come back to me. It's like, no.
87 colony ships have
If you dumped her, you don't get to wait for her to start things up again.
but it's within the not much.
Christian, you're on Luna to do her job. It isn't this. If you'd prefer not to be involved in these discussions, you're more than welcome to submit your thoughts in writing.
Understood.
Good.
God, Gal sucks. She's so petty about it. Like, she doesn't want her to have any input just because she used to be in charge.
What'd you do?
There's a button, I pushed it.
Jesus Christ. That's really how you go through life, isn't it?
Look, there's a signal coming in.
There's a button. I pushed it. Oh, that's from her eye. Smart. Is this something that... I can't remember if this happened in the books. I don't remember. Did she break the seal? Ooh, yeah, she's losing oxygen. You're gonna wanna shut that. Is she gonna be in this one? I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure they get her.
Around here, there's only one Amos Burton. What the fuck are you doing, Timmy? Lydia died. That's not an answer. We had a deal. I'm gonna need to change that deal. Fuck you.
Ooh, oh yeah, I forgot about his arm.
Lydia would not want him sleeping in an alley, so I don't either.
That's all he wants.
That's all this is.
Yeah, that's literally the only reason. It's a test.
Eric. You don't have to test me. All this is really about the house.
Yes, man.
Charles. Next time you go up the well, don't come back. I love you, and I miss you, I do. But show your face in my city again, and I'm putting you down.
It's good seeing you again, Eric.
He's got too much money to lose to let Amos interfere. It's a good thing Amos wasn't trying to interfere.
Hold on. There's a medical team on the way.
Give her a little shot of juice.
Just got a dose of
No, you're not dead. Wow. She thought she was in heaven, seeing Holden.
What you did today was hard. When you're hurt, hurting others is easy. It takes strength to choose not to. When life has not treated you with kindness, doing the right thing anyway always takes strength. When you can even tell what the right thing is.
Yeah, and Amos often could not tell what the right thing is. That's why he sticks around Holden and the rest of the crew, because he uses their sense of morality to gauge how he should do things. He kind of looks like a young Wes Chatham a little bit.
What are you doing on my dock, old man? No. You mean no?
It means don't try it, man.
I mean no. Yeah, whatever, asshole. Chrissy, I'm gonna need a favor. I'm getting ready to go back to the ship, and I'm not coming back to Earth ever. There's someone that I should see first. I'm gonna need your help arranging it.
God dang right, there's someone you gotta see, Amos. She is not having a great time right now, so I think you're gonna need to see her ASAP. Oh, that's a rocket taking off. I was like, ooh, what is that? I wonder how they deal with like the sound of rockets going off near a city. Oh man, the the story just moves on. It is still going. So we start off real hot with some Kamina Drummer. I was saying in the pre-show that I was hoping to see her again, and what do you know? There she is, Kamina Drummer, killing the game. Love that girl. So she is. It looks like she's. She has her own crew, and she's kind of operating. I forgot what she's doing in the books, but it almost looks here like she's operating as a higher up on the triangle of power, like Belter pirate almost, where these ships attack other ships and take all their stuff, and then she swoops in and she's like, give me 10% or we'll kill you. And they give her the 10% and then leave, and she's cultivating a image and a story of herself similar to like famous pirate names like Blackbeard or something. Like if he shows up and is like, give me your stuff, you don't fight back, you just give the stuff. So like she's telling him like, either you give me what I want or I kill you and you become another tale that I tell to other pirates. And she's so cool. The guy eventually, like, they shut him down, and then she gets her money, and it's nice. And then she's alerted to, they found Ashford's ship, which I'm surprised that Marco didn't like destroy it. So it's either, in my mind, it's either a trap or just like a tactical error by Marco. Because if I was Ashford, I would have left some sort of message or something on the ship to be like, hey, this is what happened. This is whose ship we found, and this is what we're doing. I mean, she probably knows that he's dead and that Marco killed him, but I feel like it would be a decent amount of closure for her, a little bit at least, because they had such a connection. And depending on, I mean, there's no like ocean tides to move it away. So like depending on the area, she might be able to find Ashford's body still out there, and maybe be able to take it back and bury him or whatever Belters do to dispose of the bodies, shoot it into the sun, whatever she wants to do. I like that. But a lot of this episode was focused on Amos and him going back to Baltimore to deal with the affairs of Lydia, who was the woman that kind of took care of him when he was younger. And he has a nice chat with an old man who loved Lydia and just just old people that were in love, and one of them dies, and this man is like, yo, I'm getting kicked out of my house because, like, the reason Lydia had this house was because this rich dude, like, allowed her to live here, and now that she's gone, I gotta move. And Amos is like, no, no, dude, unpack your stuff. You're staying here. I'll go have a chat with this Eric guy. And, you know, it's like an old, like, when an old mob boss just who is out of the game. It's like when John Wick, in the movie John Wick, when he starts killing people again, after his dog gets killed, and everyone's like, dude, what is happening? Like, are you back in, or are you not? Like, you need to make a decision here. Are you in, or are you out? And where John Wick was like, yeah, I think I'm back. Amos is like, no, dude, I'm literally just here because Lydia died. I'm not back. Don't try and kill me. Like, he would not like that. And meanwhile, on Tycho, not Tycho, is it Tycho? Yeah, it's Tycho. Monica sends Holden a message and is like, yo, there's a deeper conspiracy going on right now. Meet with me. We'll figure it out. And he's like, dang it. Like, he doesn't want to do it at first. And then he's like, frick. Like, his stupid sense of morality that he has to get involved. Like, he cannot bring himself to not be involved. And he goes there. She's been kidnapped, like, because someone knows something. Someone inside Tycho wants something. I think I remember who it is. And it's if it is who if it's been okay, so this is like based on the 5th book, right? So it's been 4 years since I've read the 5th book. So I don't remember a lot, actually. Like, I remember all the big things, but there's other things that, you know, they just slip your mind. And I've only read them once, so there's definitely things that I will forget. But if I remember correctly, I'm not going to say who took her, because people were mentioning last time in the comments that I did spoil some stuff. So I'm going to try not to do that. But if I remember who took her, it's very interesting and why. Alex and Bobby kind of reconnect, and he's rightfully, he's like, dude, why are you pissed at me? Like, I didn't do anything to you. Like, my family, yeah, they can be pissed at me because I abandoned them, but you are snapping at me for no reason. And she lets him in on the secret of you know, the work she's doing, and how there is a conspiracy within the Martian government, and I think parts of the UN government, where, like, things are going missing. So kind of the what we've been seeing last season and this season on Mars is, you know, there's no more war to fight, and there's all these planets. Whereas I guess last season mainly focused on the dream of Mars, like terraforming Mars, and how that's no longer really a thing for people. Like, there's no deep desire to terraform Mars anymore because all these other planets are available. Whereas I think this season is going to focus on the other identity, the other side of the coin of Mars, where, like, the one side of the coin is terraforming Mars, getting it to be like a viable planet where people can walk outside without vac suits. And then the other side is the military side of Mars. I think this season is going to focus on, like, what happens when the war, like, because a part of Mars's identity is so focused on their military might and fighting wars and all these things. What happens when there's no war to fight? You know, what do you do with all that extra wartime stuff? Especially when there's another power that's rising and wants to take some of that stuff. Like how is Mars, like, all this stuff going missing on Mars, connected to all the other events that are happening? And I think it's really, really cool how those two things of Marco throwing rocks at Earth and things going missing on Mars, like, how those two things connect is really cool and provides some awesome storylines. What else? And then yeah, so Alex goes to this lecture to kind of figure out, what's going on. And the guy's talking about how, preserving the identity and like the ideology of humans going forward, that's like the big goal for Mars now. And the way to go about things is to figure out how to maintain that goal while still dealing with all these changes and dramatically shifting landscapes of, advancing humankind through all the changes in time. And then doesn't want to talk to Alex because Alex is driving a stolen Martian ship with an Earther. So he obviously is not thrilled to talk to him there. And you think this girl is going to be like, oh no, like I'm a good person, let's talk. But she's working for that guy again. That guy might be involved. I don't remember. I only know the only name that I like really remember of like higher up Martian people is the big one that in book 8 has a daughter, and he kind of is like catatonic, and if you read the books, you know who I'm talking about, where he is now living on another planet. You know who that is. He might be the one in charge. I don't remember this guy though from the books, so he might be a lower level like pawn in the situation, or he might be unaware. But he wants to know why Alex is there as well. So presumably Alex and Bobby are gonna get in a fight with some soldiers, probably in episode 3. They're gonna have to defend themselves. Avasarala, her situation is very interesting. So her daughter's there trying to talk to her on behalf of the dad, being like, he wants to get back together, he won't say it though. Please come back home, patch things up. Looking from the outside in that, I'm like, no. if Arjun wants to patch things up with Avasarala, he doesn't get to passively aggressively hint at it and then expect her to come running. Like, he has to do that. Like, yeah, she's a powerful woman, she's got important things she's doing, but like in a relationship, if you dump someone and then you want to get back together, you don't get to be like, oh, you come running to me and maybe we'll... No, if you dump someone and then you want to get back together, you have to go back and be the one that does that. Like take the hit to your pride and just do it. She gets her ego hit more with friggin' Nancy Gao. Nancy Gao's so petty that she's ignoring legitimate intel that will definitely mean something going forward. Like, she's hearing legitimate intel that could save many lives, and she's just like brushing past it because Avasarala used to be the one in charge and now she's not, and she's like, oh, don't talk. Like, if you don't want to fall in line with me, don't show up to these meetings. You can report your writings in person or in writing. And it's like, oh, you suck. You're the worst. Like, I hated Nancy Gao last season. I mean, the actor, not like the character, like you know what I mean? Like, I hate it. Am I making sense? Like you can hate a person within the show, not like the fact that her character's there or the actress, but just, she sucks. I hate her. And then, yeah, Monica's pretty resourceful in that cargo container. She breaks the seal, which is the only reason they find her. So she could have been in there for a while. And that's not good. But okay, so she was in a cargo container on Tycho. So there's a breach within Tycho security. I don't want to give away who it is, but you have to think, like, who else in this situation within the Belters is someone who would be able to pull this off. Like, to just kidnap she's not just a random person either. She's like a prominent reporter. The season 3, she was doing a documentary on Holden and stuff, but then she became like famous for being involved in all that stuff. So she's like a legitimate reporter who is not a unknown person. So to be able to kind of kidnap her and keep it secret requires a certain level of authority, to put it plainly. But Amos goes back to visit Eric to kind of deal with the house situation. I had forgotten in the books that Eric is kind of like this crippled guy. So he's got his arm stump, and then he has a limp as well. I forgot what I think in the books it describes what happened to him, and I don't remember. But he thinks Amos is here to like cause some trouble or like reinsert himself into the Baltimore like gang game. And so he's got his gun ready, and he's like, "Oh, like you're just here for the house." And then he leaves the gun on the table as a test. I knew it was a test. Anytime they do that in movies or TV, it's like they're baiting you. They're waiting for you to take that gun. It was probably not loaded. And he's so confused. He's like, all right, well, if you ever come back here, I will kill you. Because the fake ID, Timothy's fake ID for Amos, it's interesting. Some characters will refer to him as Timothy because his real name, I believe, is Timothy. Or at least that was the name he was given when he was young on the streets. So we already know this, but Timothy Amos was used for sex as a child within the Baltimore gangs, and then once he was too old and big to be wanted that way by the Johns, he was then used for muscle, and so his sense of morality of what is right and wrong has been dramatically just shattered when he was young. Like they're talking about later when she's on the dock with him is, if you can figure out what is right and wrong. I think there's some lines, I forgot which book it is, where Amos is describing, I think he's actually just thinking it, why he stays around like Holden and Naomi and Alex and stuff like that is because Amos in his head legitimately just does not know what is right and wrong. Like he was so broken as a child that he literally doesn't know. So he's able to recognize who is like right and wrong and like a morally good person, but he can't like make those decisions for himself in his own head in the moment. So when he acts and does stuff, he does it in a way where it's like, what would Holden do in this situation? Because he knows that he's a good guy. So it's very interesting how they've connected that a little bit here. We get more info. They're focusing more on just the individual characters a lot of like what they're doing right now, but they're sprinkling in these hints here and there of like there's something bigger happening, and I assume it's going to happen at the end of episode 3 because it's a massive thing, especially considering who Amos is going to visit and when those things happen within that timeline. But yeah, they're sprinkling in some hints of the larger conspiracy of what's about to happen, and I really, really enjoy it. But yeah, Amos ends the episode telling Avasarala, he's like, I'm never coming back here. I'm gonna leave, but I need one favor. Before I go, I need to go visit someone. And I freaking love it. If you've read the books, you know exactly who he's going to visit. And it's wonderful. It's a girl. I'll say that it's a girl. So if you don't want to be spoiled, skip the next, I don't know, the next 30 seconds. If you don't want to be spoiled, skip the next 30 seconds to a minute. Okay. So here we go right now. So he is going to visit Peaches in jail. She's in like super prison. And it's very, very exciting. that he's going to visit her, because I love them in the books. The connection that they develop in the books is one of the best and most impactful connections of any characters in the show. You know, the relationship that they develop going forward is just fantastic. I love it so much. And especially it's exciting considering, you know, when these rocks drop on Earth, he is visiting her in prison when they drop. So it's the end of next season is going to, or end of next episode is going to be crazy, crazy, crazy. Like, oh, I'm so pumped. I'm so pumped. Okay. It's been roughly a minute. So, yeah. Welcome back to the non-spoiler section of that 1 minute. Yeah. So I just described why I'm super pumped for who he's going to visit and what that means going forward, and I'm just pumped. I love this show so much. The books are freaking fantastic. Probably one of my favorite books ever. And I love the way that they're developing this series. I know it ends after, actually technically I've seen some videos and interviews saying that next season might not be the final season, but the authors and showrunners have described it as like a good pausing point, which is interesting because, you know, the storylines that they're telling at that point could, like the way they end and resolve, could be some like really, really cool stuff and could easily work as 6 seasons. And I don't think this isn't a spoiler, but at the end of the 6th book or 6 seasons, in between the 6th and 7th, there's like a 30-year time gap. So it kind of like the 7th book, 8th book, and 9th book take place when these people are like 50 plus years old. Like Avasarala is like really old. All these people are old. Like everyone's old. So I think their plan might be to, if they're able to, pause things here. I mean, because everyone always talks about how in time jumps within, you know, media, literature, all that, how it's like it would be perfect if they could just like pause things and then film these things when those people are older, and then kind of like have everything work perfectly. And instead, a lot of the times they'll either just change things or they'll put makeup on to make these people look older. It would be interesting if they are actually planning to like be like, hey, we're going to pause this, and then a few years down the road when you guys have aged up a bit, we're going to resume this again and do the final 3 seasons of The Expanse, or, you know, 1 to 3 movies about what is happening. Either way, if that was their plan, that's super cool. But otherwise, the way they could end in 6 seasons is also very interesting. And I'm excited. Yeah. I don't know if I have anything else to say about this episode. Hopefully I did not spoil things as much as last time. If I did better, please let me know. I'm trying not to spoil things. I've kind of operated my Expanse videos on the assumption that most of the people that watch them have either seen all the episodes, because like last season, they dropped all of them at once. So it was very easy for people to watch the whole season and then kind of come to my videos as they kind of went along. So they probably already knew what happened. This time they're dropping them once a week. So I think it's a lot easier for me to spoil things if I talk about things the way I did last time. And since I've read all the books, I was previously kind of operating these videos on like a, you know, if you know, like you already know, so I'm just going to say it. But based on some of the comments last time, I'm going to try and curb that a little bit and not spoil. I might kind of like insinuate towards some stuff and kind of hint at things here and there, but I think I'm going to try and make that the most that I do, because I understand when things get spoiled, it's a total bummer. because I've had, even just recently, someone went into my videos about the Queen's Gambit and spoiled the end for me. So I know it's such a bummer when things happen and you know ahead of time. So I'll try and be better about that. I am sorry. Hopefully I did better this time. Please let me know if I did or didn't. It's also interesting because sometimes you say things and the people who haven't read the books have no idea what you're talking about. Like I've been on the other side of it a little bit sometimes, where like you're hearing people have discussions about stuff, and when you haven't seen it, you're like, I don't know what that means at all. But if you are someone who had seen the books or seen the things previously or read the books, like you hear that and you're like, oh dude, that's a spoiler. So it's kind of interesting trying to figure out what you can say that won't sound spoilery for the people who haven't seen it. You know what I mean? But anyways, I think that's all I got. So let me know your thoughts on all of this down below. What did you think about the episode? What are specific storylines that you enjoy or want to see more of? Let me know. Yeah, if you liked my reaction or the video or the episode in general, please leave a like on the video. That means a ton to me. Please subscribe if you want to see more. A ton of my viewers are not subscribed to my channel, so subscribe if you want to. That would mean even more than a like, because it means you might stick around for more videos. But otherwise, oh, and if you want to see the full-length reaction to this episode, head down to my Patreon link below. I'm a little behind right now, so it might be a week or two before I get the full-length up on the channel or up on the Patreon for this, but be patient with me. Yeah, I think that's all I got. So I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.